Editing a template isn't always super clear, especially if you're just starting out. We've been getting a lot of different questions about editing our templates, even about some basic stuff. And that's totally okay. Everyone starts somewhere. So we made this video to cover the most common questions and make editing Framer templates a little easier for everyone. We'll walk you through everything using our latest template, Pluma. It's a modular Framer template designed for SaaS brands, startups, and digital products. We built it to be versatile with the most common sections and pages, so you can get your site live faster. Hi, this is Barbara from Art4Web, and in this video I'll show you how to edit a Framer template using our Pluma SaaS template as an example. Once you learn the process, you'll be able to apply it to any of our other templates as well. We'll walk you through some of the most common edits so you can customize templates with ease and streamline your workflow. So here's how you do it. When you purchase the template, you'll get a remix link. Click on it, we'll redirect you to Framer, where you can choose a workspace for your new project. After making a copy of Pluma in your Framer workspace, you're ready to start customizing. First, you can rename the project from Pluma to match your brand name. For this tutorial, I'm going to call mine Berry. The template comes with extra subpages and sections you might not need, so feel free to delete anything you won't use. It also has light and dark themes to keep things flexible. Whether you want to keep both or just one, that's totally up to you. I'll show you how to handle that later in the video. There are 4 breakpoints in total, which isn't standard. We've added an extra one called Desktop Wide to help separate large and small desktop screens so you can customize things more precisely. The Desktop Wide breakpoint covers screens 1440 pixels and up, while desktop is for 1200 to 1439 pixels. To make editing even smoother, the Pluma template includes a layout template called Main. It's used across all subpages, so whenever you create a new one, the header and footer are already in place, leaving just the placeholder section for your custom content. If you want to make a global change, like updating header, footer, or adding a cookie banner, just edit the main template layout. The update will automatically apply to all subpages. The CMS includes just 2 collections, that's blog articles and blog categories. Everything else is handled through components, which I'll show you in just a bit. Let's start by changing the logo. We'll be working in the desktop wide breakpoint. First, double-click the header to open the main layout template. Then click on the header again to edit the header component. To replace the Pluma logo with your own, you'll need a logo that's prepared ahead of time. Ideally, it should be an SVG. While you can use a colored logo, for this tutorial, we'll use a monochrome version as the original Pluma logo, so the theme switching will work properly. You can use any SVG logo, but make sure the SVG code allows Framer to control its color. Let's open our sample Berry logo SVG in a text editor. Near the end of the code, you'll see something like fill black. To make it theme friendly, in Framer, just change that to fill current color and save the file. After updating the logo code, it's ready to be dropped in Framer. Make sure you're editing the desktop component variant. Import your updated SVG. It will appear as a group of paths in the Layers panel. Select the entire group and move it into the Logos tag. Then, delete the old logo and optionally resize the new one if needed. As a final step, select the logo and set its color to text 100 in the right sidebar. This ensures it responds properly to both light and dark themes. Using plain black won't reflect the theme changes, but text 100 will. As you may have noticed, the template comes with a predefined color palette. Each color has a specific name, so let's quickly go over what those names mean. The numbers at the end indicate opacity. For example, 100 means full opacity, while 50 means 50% opacity. Some colors adapt to light and dark themes, like text 100. Others, such as accent or any color labeled pure, stay the same regardless of the theme. Now let's tweak a few colors to match the berry brand and make the palette our own. There are a few ways to find the color palette, but the easiest is through the Assets panel in the left sidebar. Just go to Styles and open Color. By the way, the Assets panel is like the library for this template, so it's where you find all the colors, styles, fonts, custom code, and components, all in one place. But let's go back to changing colors. Let's say I want to update the background color from white to gray. I'll click on background and change the color code to light gray for the light theme and darker gray for the dark theme. And just like that, the background color updates globally across the entire website. Next, I want to change the accent color from purple to my brand color. So I simply update the code from purple to berry pink. This time, I'm keeping the same color for both light and dark themes, since I don't want it to change with theme switching. If you decide to remove theme switching, you can do it by setting the same color for both light and dark themes. For example, in the text 100 style, you'd use the same color value in both modes. Just keep in mind, you'll need to do this manually for each color in the palette. Next, the fonts changing. Just like with colors, you can find all the text styles in the Assets panel under Styles and Text. To change fonts, you'll need to update each style individually. When you change the font for a style, all the text on the page using that style will update automatically. Let's change the font on the H1 style, for example. All you need to do is click on the style called Heading 1 and open its options to change the font. I'll pick a different one, let's say Gelasio, so the change is easy to spot. As you can see, the new font is instantly applied to all the pages using this H1 style. Keep in mind that H1 headlines use different H1 styles depending on their size. As you can see, there's a regular one, then a small, and also an extra small version. All the other font styles in the template are set up in a similar way. Let's now dive into the Components library. We're still in the Assets panel on the left sidebar. Just scroll over to the Component sections. The Components list is split into two groups, Framer and Project. You won't really need to touch the Framer components unless you're updating them when an update is available, or you know exactly what you're doing and you want to remove one completely from the template. All the components you'll actually use are in the first folder, called Project. The components inside the Project folder are organized into subfolders based on their purpose. For example, the Sections folder includes all the main layout sections you might use to build your pages. The Nav folder contains navigation-related components, and in Button and Links you'll find different button and link styles, and so on. It's all neatly grouped to help you find what you need quickly. The last folder, called To Be Removed, includes our promo links for buying the template, so feel free to delete those and make sure to also remove any of those elements from the actual pages in the template. If you want to add a new page, there are a couple ways how to do it. The first way is by going to the Pages panel in the left sidebar, clicking the plus icon and selecting New Page. The downside of this method is that the new page won't include the desktop-wide breakpoint by default, so you have to add it manually every time, which can cause issues if you're not careful, and it's also time-consuming. A more effective way is to duplicate an existing page that has a similar layout to what you need. This way, you'll keep all the breakpoint settings and avoid setup errors. For example, I wanted to create a sign-in page, so I just duplicated the waitlist page. I don't actually need the waitlist anymore, but its layout was very close to what I wanted. After duplicating, I renamed the page to Sign In, and I set the old waiting list page to draft, so it's no longer live, but still there if I need it. Since I drafted the waitlist page, I also need to remove it from the menu and footer nav. To remove it from the submenu, I go to Assets, Components, Project, Navigation, Submenu, I find Waitlist, and I delete it. To remove it from the footer, I go to Assets, Components, Project, Sections, Footer, click on Waitlist, and delete it from here too. Now back to the new sign-in page. Since I want to use it for logging in, I duplicated the email input component and used it again for the password field. I adjusted the settings like placeholder text and field type in the right sidebar, then changed the submit button text from join the waitlist to sign in. Just remember, this is only the layout. To make sign-in actually work, you still need to connect it to a third-party service like Framer or your own. And finally, once the page is ready to go live, don't forget to undraft it and add it back to your navigation. There are 3 pre-built hero sections to choose from. Home, which includes Hero 1, Hero 2, and Hero 3. Just pick the one that best fits your needs. If you want to switch to a different hero, let's say you prefer Hero 2, you can set it as your home page by clicking the 3 dots and select it Set Home Page. The original home page will automatically be renamed to Old Home. You can then delete any hero sections you're not using to keep your structure clean and focus on what you actually want to edit. Now, we can start editing our new hero. For example, we'll change the image. Let's stay in our new home page. Go to the Layers panel and select the app screenshot. It's important to edit the specific app image layer as it contains the appear effects and size settings. Once selected, we can swap out the image. Since I want the new image to match the template style, I'll also update its corners. In the right sidebar, under Styles, I'll set the radius to 16 pixels. Now the image fits perfectly with the overall look of the template. Next, maybe I want to bring back the new stack component that was part of the original homepage. To find it, go to the Assets panel and select New Stack from the Components list, or simply hit Command K and search for it. Once you've found it, just drag it into the right spot. In this case, it should go inside the title stack. Next, you'll need to update the news text. In the right sidebar, find the text field and rewrite it. For example, let's say, Barry is now in beta. Since the news tag should link somewhere, it can either point to a static page or, in my case, link to a specific blog article. To set that up, click on Link, choose blog/slug, and then select your preferred article under slug. I'll go with What's New. By the way, if you go back to the original homepage, you'll notice there's an ad walkthrough video, but it doesn't necessarily have to stay there. If you want to remove it, simply click on the video, then locate the video walkthrough layer in the Layers panel and delete it. Now that the hero section is finished, I can move on to the customer's logos below. Let's take a look at how to add and edit a logo. First, double-click to enter the Trust Builder Logos section component. Then double-click again on the Logo Sticker component to start editing. Inside, you'll see the ticker at the top of the logo, content below. Let's say I want to replace the first logo. I select it, locate the vector or vector group inside, and delete it. Then I drag my new client logo onto the canvas and move it into the customer logo frame. Finally, I align it to the center, resize it to match the others, and set it to fit the width and height of the parent frame. Let's go back to the home page and play preview, and as you can see, your new logo is already in the ticker. Let's continue by editing the content of the feature section below. In the Layers panel, you'll see that there are 4 pre-built feature sections on the home page, and a total of 5 available in the template, as listed in the Components panel. You can keep whichever ones you like, but for this example, we'll edit just the first one. Start by entering the section component. First, change the main title. Then move on to the first feature or column. You'll notice in the Layers panel that each of the 3 columns is a component, marked by a small purple diamond icon. That means their content can likely be edited directly in the right sidebar. So let's do that. First, update the title. And then the description text. You can also change the icon, but as you'll see, the template only includes a limited set of built-in icons. In most cases, you'll want to upload your own custom icon. Here's how to do it. Go to the Assets panel and under Vectors, find the Features group. Duplicate the last icon, remove its content, and rename it to your new icon's title. Just keep in mind that icons should be sized at 24 by 24 pixels with a 2 pixel stroke. I already have my custom icon ready, so I'll drag it onto the canvas and place it inside the icon's artboard. Then I'll center it and change its color to text 100 so it supports theme switching. Now the icon is in my icon database and I can use it in components. So I'll go back to the features component I was editing and simply choose my new icon from the list. And that's it. The content is now updated and visible across all the breakpoints. Next, let's move on to the customer review section. Just like before, go inside the component to start editing its content. Then go deeper into the reviews ticker component. This component includes a total of 3 tickers used for the desktop layout, and one carousel that's used on mobile. All three tickers pull content from the same 5 reviews, just displayed in different orders. You can add as many reviews as you like. Let's say I want to add one more review. I'll duplicate the last one by holding the Option or Alt key and dragging it. Then I'll set the star rating, paste it in the review quote. Update the customer's name and replace their photo. Don't forget to update the alt text as and all the images. Now I need to connect this new review to all 3 tickers on the mobile carousel. I do this by selecting each ticker, clicking the 3 dots, and dragging the connection line to the new review component. I repeat the same process for each ticker. For the mobile carousel, which isn't currently visible in the desktop view, I'll temporarily change the visibility to visible to allow me to connect it to the new review, and then hide it again in the desktop variant. Don't worry, it still will be visible on mobile. Finally, let's go back to the home page and check if the new review appears in preview mode, both on desktop and on mobile. Alright, let's now make some changes in the FAQ section. The principle is the same. The main section is a component, so let's go inside it. As you can see, each question and answer is also created as its own component. That means I can easily edit the content in the right sidebar. It's pretty self-explanatory. To add a new item, I'll just duplicate the last one. I can also choose whether the item should appear open or closed by default. In this case, I'll keep it open. Now I'll update the question and the answer content. Don't forget to update your apps or websites icon here, which you can do by editing this component, clicking on this icon and changing the image to your own. And that's it. Now let's say we're happy with the home page and move on to the integrations page, which is a common section on SaaS websites. As you can see, the integration items are grouped into categories like marketing or management. You can create a new category or simplify the layout to show just one. But for now, let's walk you through how to edit a single item. Just to note, each integration card is preset to open in a new tab when linking to external pages. As for the integration logo, make sure to use square logos, ideally in SVG format. For this example, I replaced the logo with the PayPal icon. And that's it. Let's now move on to the pricing page. Editing the pricing plans themselves is pretty simple, based on what we've already covered earlier in this video. So now let's focus on the plan comparison table below the pricing cards. The table is built using components for the functionality rows, but it also includes a few standard layout elements, like this spacer or the row title stack used to categorize groups of features. Let's take a closer look at one functionality row. The first thing you want to change is the title of the feature. Then you'll see 3 items, one for each plan column, to toggle whether that feature is available or not. Below that, there are 3 more fields where you can either show a checkmark or add a custom text, like in the case of the user groups feature. Now let's take a look at the request a demo page and how to connect the form to make it work. First, click on the form and make sure it's also selected in the Layers panel. In the right sidebar, you'll see the form settings. You can connect the form to your email or to Google Sheets. For more advanced setups, you can also connect it via API to any third-party app you use for handling inquiries. You can do it by clicking on Webhook option. The redirect field doesn't need to be touched unless you want to send users to a specific page after submission. For example, a custom thank you page. If you leave this field blank, the user will see a loading animation inside the button, and once submitted, the button label will simply change to thank you. By the way, the same applies to the contact page form. You can follow the exact same process as with the request a demo form to set it up and connect it to your preferred service. Let's now take a closer look at the About page and how you can easily update it. The top section is straightforward, using standard static frame or layout elements, so you can directly change the text and images. Scrolling down to the Team section, you'll see it's built as a section component, with each team member as a component instance. You can easily update their name, row, and photo. Just make sure to use square images, ideally sized at 240 by 240 pixels to keep file sizes optimized. Once you're finished editing the About page, you can move on to the Careers page, which features one special element: the Open Jobs list. Let's scroll down to that section. As you might expect, it's also built using components, so you can easily update the content in the right sidebar. One important thing to note: each job listing is currently set up to link to an external third-party job posting platform. Of course, you can rebuild it to link internally instead, but if you do, don't forget to update the link setting in the original job line component by changing the target from New tab to the appropriate internal page. Now, the blog. There's nothing too special here except for the colored category tags you see on the post. Let's open the CMS and take a look at how the collections are set up. In the settings of each category item, you'll see 2 color fields, one for the background and one for the text. Keep in mind that these should remain clearly visible even in dark mode if you're planning to use it on your site. Next, let's go to the blog post collection and open one. Under categories, you can assign a category to the article, which automatically applies the corresponding tag color on the front end. You can add also more than one category per article. Let's now open the text page, which is primarily designed as a style sheet to showcase commonly used text elements all in one place, but it also serves as a solid foundation for a standard text-based page. If you'd like to keep this page as a style reference, simply duplicate it and rename it, and mark it as a draft to use as a starting point for content, like a privacy policy or a cookie policy. Keep in mind, it's just a regular static page, so you'll be editing the content directly within Framer's canvas. Last but not least, the promo content removal. You can remove any unnecessary components marked with the Remove Me label, as these are meant solely for template presentation purposes. If you want to remove the fixed buttons in the bottom corner, navigate to the main template, select the Promo Links Remove Me layer, and delete it. Just to note, this component also includes the theme toggle button, which you can reuse elsewhere if needed. Next, head to the Assets panel. Under Components, Project, find a folder named To Be Removed and delete any components you don't plan to use. As for other promo-related elements, like the banner and the footer, feel free to adjust or customize them to fit your project needs. Alright folks, that's all from our side. If you run into any trouble with the template, don't worry, just shoot us an email at hello@art4web.co. We're happy to help with more advanced customizations, adapt the template to your brand, or even design and develop additional pages or features you might need. And hey, if by some miracle you've watched this entire video and still haven't bought our Pluma template, well, what are you waiting for? Check the video description for a special promo code to get 10% off. Go grab it before we change our minds.